Hi, Harry here from the factory, just with a weekly vlog about what I played and if I've learned anything this week. And I actually have, and I think it might be something which is a little bit important. Um, been a pretty good week. I've got some games to the table within a chaotic life that we all have. Most of us have. Got to play some nice smaller games with my son, who's 10. I'm not going to lie, I had a bad record against him last year. Trying to teach him how to be a good loser did not go well. Um, how to be a good winner, he's getting better at. But first, I have to start winning, which I have had a good start this year. We started off playing a small little game called Ruin, which is a nice little game. It just takes about 10 minutes, and it's a nice, just gets the brain going. Then we had a good game of Onitama, which I have here, which I love this game. I'll be doing a video on it later on and similar, as I do a video about chess and why I don't like chess, even though it is probably the greatest game ever. Um, I was able to start off my year with a couple of wins against my son. Yeah, I know he's 10. Um, and I like Goni Tama. It was good. He had me up against the ropes, but he made a mistake, and I was able to. I think maybe my agent was just able to get a win out of that. And I love Onitama because it's amazing about it is its simplicity. Um, and takes 15, 20 minutes, sometimes less. We got 2 games in a half now. By the way, any game I talk about, I'm going to recommend because mainly I don't think, I don't think there is a bad game. I've never played a bad game. Now, what I have done is I've played games where I go, there's something better than that, and I'm going to get to that in a second. What I've learned this week. Yeah, so that's how my year started with a couple of wins against my son. I'm sorry, I'll take them when I can. The other thing, what did I get to the table with my family this week? I got Dixit. I eventually got Dixit behind me. Eventually got them to play Dixit. My first time playing with them, uh, it was great. It's you think it's very simple. Okay, the game is just you have a card. There's a picture of something on it, bit abstract, and you have to give a clue to it. But you can't give it too good of a clue because if everyone gets it, you don't get points. But it's just coming up with something fun and unique. I'm not gonna lie, yeah, started off tough, but we got there with some very interesting clues. My daughter definitely wins comment of the game, let's say, where she Bambi's mother was her comment, and yeah, you can only guess what that was. But we were in stitches. There was tears rolling down our eyes. It was brilliant. And the best thing was that everyone enjoyed it. Everyone was happy to play it again. I'm actually with my family, who I think when I started getting into board gaming, I was definitely guilty of pushing too hard. After a couple of years now, I'm learning how to bring games, what type of games to them, and how to do it. And it's a learning process for me because I can be a bit intense at times. And I think I'm getting better at it. The fact that they want to play again yeah, that's really the only goal. And we had fun, which is obviously the other one as well. So that was Dixit. Um, Last night I got a couple of games in against my son again. As he was preparing to go back to school this morning. Yay to all parents whose kids have gone back to school. Um, we played Star Realms. I got another win, which again, last year he just destroyed me at Star Realms. Star Realms is still this small little. There it is. There, look, that's it. You bring it with you anywhere. That's what I love about this game. I can bring it anywhere, and we do because I always have a game in my bag. And yeah, I was able to pull out a win. Again, sorry, it's going on the board. Take them when I can against my family. And then we played King Domino, and we played 2 games of King Domino, and it's around here somewhere. King Domino is a very nice light family game of just picking tiles and Have a little 5x5 square to make up your little land, and you get points from combining them and getting the crowns on the same amount of as many lands as possible. And I'm not going to lie to you, destroyed me. He utterly destroyed me. Not even close. We played twice. I'm not going to lie to you, I don't let him win. I do try and beat him because I don't think we should let our kids win. Um, I think that there's something within board gaming that, hey, look, if we have to win, we go a little bit easy because we don't want to destroy someone unless they deserve it. Okay, so I don't try. I don't let them win. Um, because then it's not a genuine win for them. And then, you know, so and I want him to play again as well, which he does. And again, so I think we are for this year. He has 2 wins and I have 3. So I'm going to take that. I'm 3-2. See where we are by the end of the year. Not going to lie, he won last year. So they were kind of the family games that I got in this week, which always makes me feel good. So, what about bigger games? All right. So, I am mainly a solo player. I'll be doing a bigger video and longer video about the benefits of solo play, and it's kind of solo play that started me off within this hobby. And so I was over with a friend of mine. He says, "Can we play Agricola?" Agricola is his favorite game. I don't have it. The only one I have of his Rosenborg's is Newsfort. So Agricola is you're building your farm. That's basically it. It's over so many rounds, putting your workers out, your farmers out, and you got to work it up from there. You've got your animals, you're trying to get your fields going and stuff like that. However, what we did was we played a solo game. And the thing we were looking for was to see how many points we could get. Because what he was telling me was, what we've heard is that the max you can get, this is just the base game. I love this idea, especially as a solo player. So in it, when you're playing solo, there is 12 rounds, I think. When you start off, all the cards for the 12 rounds are face down. You get cards into your hand. You get 14 in total. 7 occupations and 7 skills, I think it is, out of a deck of each. So every time you play, it's great because you don't know what you're going to start with. And what I love about games like that is, okay, you know how it works, you know what's coming, but you're starting with different resources and you have to figure out how to combine and what's the best way to combine them. So what we were doing is, well, can we figure out how to get the most points? Because I think 125 points is the most you can get at that game. But there's one way of doing it, which means every move you make from start to finish, including picking the 14 cards at the start to make sure that they combine in the correct way, in the correct place, and then obviously you can move around the 12 cards to a certain extent. So we play with them face up to say, and it was great. I'm not going to lie, we spent 6 hours doing it, and we were shocked that it was 1 o'clock in the morning by the time we finished. We had a great time, and again, it's not for everybody. And it was great just trying to figure out which cards went with which. Going, okay, not those ones. We try these ones, and then okay, we'll be halfway through the game, and we go, okay, well that card that we picked, okay, that's really not going to work. We're not going to, and we go through the cards again, trying to find something else. I'm just trying to find that synergy going, just find that link between this. When do you get the extra worker in? When do you, and it was, come here, we had a lot of fun. And it was great as well just to see a game like Agricola. Just, you get to see another, I suppose you're looking at it from a different angle, because he designs as well. So you kind of get to see it from a designer's point of view of what he did. You know what I'm trying to say? Like what was his his or hers the best. So here's the challenge. The challenge is to get the best, right? To get the best. And it's in there. And a designer has kind of put that cup, that achievement in there. Can you find it? In other games, you can't do that with all games, obviously. With other games, I find it's just, well, what's the feeling that they want you to have in a game? Like, what's the eureka moment or that rush of love from a game? And with Agricola and worker placement euros and stuff like that, it's, yeah, figuring out that puzzle. And what this is just an added puzzle. This is like, what is the best game you could possibly have if everything fits in? And so just another way of playing a game, which is great from as a solo player. It's great because I'm not a fan of beat your own score games. I can lose interest very quickly, and I try and stay away from them. I always need something to play against, or I need a goal rather than just beat my score from the last one. And I'm going to be honest, Newsford was something that I had only played solo a lot. And I got to that point until I played it multiplayer. And then I went, no, I can't. This game I have to keep it. Not for solo. Um, but I might look at it now from solo and just tweak the rules and do slightly different little things with it just to see. I might do the same thing with Newsford, I think. But yeah, if you're a solo player and you have Agricola, it's something to look into. Now, when we finished, I did turn around to a friend and I said to him, after all the work we put in, I said, if we don't get more, if we don't get at least 70 points, I'm never playing this goddamn game again. Now, we got 87 points. I was so happy with that. I think we had 83, we recounted and recounted again just to make sure because we got up to 87. I recounted again, went through the rule book to try and find that extra 3. If I get 90, then I could just go. But to get 87 points, we're going to give it a break and we're going to come back to it again, and see, if we can beat that 87. Now, if there's anybody out there who's tried that, come back to me. Let me know what your top high points are on solo play now. Solo play is different. There's slightly different rules to solo play and multiplayer. Because I think we did say that if we were to play multiplayer, purposely for one player, to get more points, I think it can be done. Because one of the things is in Agricola, at the end of every year after the harvest, you need 2 food for every worker that you have. But when you're playing solo, you need 3. So you've got to do more. Now it's to make up, obviously, there's no blocking or anything like that. So you'd have to be a bit smarter with the 2-player, but to get 1 player those extra points, I think, yeah, that would be an interest. That might be something we might look into. Never know. Might do a video on it at a later date. So that was Agricola, and I think that is something, because where that came from, because I've been talking about achievements, and I got Cascadia. It's over there. And in Cascadia, which is I picked up, and I'm not going to lie to you, from a solo player, it's already into my top 20, and it's already one of my favorites to go to. For a relaxing, puzzly little half an hour of a coffee. But what it has in the book, which is in the rule book, which is great. Now, as an ex-video gamer on Xbox, you got your achievements. And in Cascadia, they have that. They have that thing where they have achievements, and it's something I'm talking about a lot because I think it keeps me coming back. It just gives me something a little bit extra to come back for. And I think it's something which designers should maybe look into. Both future designers and obviously designers for past games, come out, please, and achievements. So if there's any games you have where you've made up your own achievements, or if there's games about achievements that were designers have done, please comment and let me know. Because I would love to know, for especially some of my solo games, it's just that's something extra to go back that I can beat. Yeah. So and finally, so the last game I got to play on Thursday, which was because it was a game I was very interested in and nearly picked up. Was Pax Pamir. Now, Pax Pamir is a heavy, I suppose, war game. I think it's the same designers of Root. And I'm not going to lie, it's a good game. It is. Um, we all kind of agree. We played 5 player. I had a great time with it. It was um, there was a lot to learn. I want to go back and play it again because it's all about the cards. But there's so much in there to learn about the cards, and there's so many different strategies to learn from the cards. And I and that's why I want to go back and play it because I think there was a lot of stuff we didn't do. Um, and I do really love these types of war games. And but I'll get to the lesson that I learned because here's the thing about this game: it's not your normal war game, like say, for example, Risk that we all know. A game where it's area control, where I have my armies and your armies. No, no, it's not. It's influence. It's who has influence in the court. And there was some very really nice things in it that I really liked. And one of the things we didn't out of a 5 player game, we only changed influence I think twice in the game. And there was a few things we didn't, few strategies and a few actions we didn't really use. Uh, Myself personally, it took me a little bit too long to get into it to um, to figure out how to change my influence because I there was 5 of us, 2 of us, 2 were Afghans, 2 were British, and I just said, look, I'll go Russian to be different. Um, I've been thinking ever since if I'd gone with either British or Afghan, probably would have been a different game altogether. And I wondered, if that was the case, which I'm looking forward to finding out soon, how different the game can be. I think that's great because I love little. If you're playing a game like that where just the smallest decision at the start of a game can change how a game goes, it's great because well, the way we play a lot over the tables, a lot of banter, a lot of um, shouting and influencing, and as come here, as a lot of games should be. Not all. That's not for everybody. I get that. And but we were a bit underwhelmed from a game that has such a high ranking and has has a good name. Even in solo, from a solo point of view, it has a good name. I think we all want to play it again, but we're all a little bit underwhelmed. Um, so I was glad I didn't buy it. I nearly bought it. And I was happy that the person I was going to buy it off had actually sold it that morning, so it was good. Sorry, excuse me. But here's what I learned. What I learned was, well, I have to say, well, why did I love it? Why did I think 20 minutes into this game I really wanted it and I wanted to buy it? And a friend was going to, Harry's off again. You want to buy everything? And he says, yeah. And this is what I've learned after 3 years. It's like, it's that feeling that's in a game. Now, do I have a game that gives me that exact same feeling, but better? And that's what I need to spend more time. We all need to spend a little bit more time, maybe, with a game looking at. And I do. And by the time the game finished, I knew this. And I knew I didn't have to have this game because I already had one. I had a game that gave me the exact same thing, except better. And I love it because I suppose, like everyone else, I'll do a top 10 video at some stage just so you know what I like, my favorite games. And this will be in it. And I love this game. And it's this one. And it's The King is Dead. I remember playing this game and 10 minutes in, I knew I was going to buy it. It was already in a basket by the time the game finished. And a week later, I had ordered it. And I will do a video on that game because I think it's amazing and it's an amazing design. But this really heavier game gave me the same feeling that The King is Dead gave me. Except The King is Dead gives it to me um, a little bit better and in a shorter time. Part of it is that the map on Pax Pamir I think is brilliant because it's really small, but it's so chaotic and so much going on. And I love that. I like big boards and big maps. But there's also something nice about that small map that's very well designed. And for me, I think Pax Pamir Second Edition, that little map is great when you're adding stuff on. One of the other kind of maps that I really love that does that even better is just behind me. Is there Spirit Island? Playing solo, it's just this tiny little map, and I find when I'm playing it, even though it's not one of my favorites, and I'm still trying to crack it, and it just hones me in, and it's great. So yeah, so the lesson of this week has been, I suppose, FOMO, to figure out when FOMO is just that, is when actually you give it a bit of time, just scratch it a little bit, and hey, look, I already have something, or there's something better. So yeah, that's it. 1 second there. That's just okay. That's good time. That's just my alarm to tell me that it's time to finish up. So yeah, come here. This will be my first weekly vlog. There'll be another one next week. Um, like, share, get in contact. Let me know what you think. Let me know if you disagree or agree with me with anything that I might have mentioned or learned this week. What do you think of the games? Oh yeah, the other game I got to play. Sometimes you play this small little tiny game that you forget about. Okay, and this was it. I got to play Six Nymph again this week. Totally forgot how much I love this little game. It's got 4 rules, 104 cards, 1 to 104. Yeah, come here, listen. Just, I love when that happens, when you play something you forget, you've disregarded and you just have on the shelf. Beautiful. So yeah, it's been a good week. Yeah, get in contact, like, share. You know what to do, hopefully. And yeah, stay safe. Bye, board gaming. Bye now.